What if the most touching act of kindness from two of China's biggest stars happened without cameras, without headlines, and without asking for recognition? As devastating floods swept across Guangxi province, thousands of families suddenly found themselves facing unimaginable hardship. Homes disappeared beneath rising waters. Daily necessities became precious. Every small act of support suddenly meant everything. Then, something quietly happened. While social media continued discussing dramas, concerts, and celebrity schedules, Zhao Lucy and Liu Yuning reportedly chose a different path, one focused not on publicity, but on compassion. Zhao Lucy participated in distributing RDD tissue supplies for flood victims in Guangxi, while Liu Yuning also made a donation to support those affected by the disaster. Neither of them made the story about themselves. And perhaps that's exactly why fans around the world were so deeply moved. Natural disasters often arrive without warning. For the people living in Guangxi province, severe flooding transformed ordinary days into a struggle for survival. Entire neighborhoods were affected as floodwaters forced residents to evacuate. Families suddenly had to leave behind their homes, carrying only what they could manage. In moments like these, survival depends on more than rescue operations. It depends on people who are willing to help. Emergency supplies become priceless. Food, clean water, medical necessities, personal hygiene products. Even something as simple as tissues becomes an essential item for families staying in temporary shelters. As relief organizations worked tirelessly across affected communities, support from every corner of society became increasingly important. Among those offering assistance were public figures whose influence reaches millions of people. But this time, their kindness arrived quietly, without dramatic announcements, without elaborate campaigns, without turning tragedy into publicity. That silent approach immediately captured the attention of many fans. Because sometimes, the loudest kindness is the kindness that never asks to be noticed. For years, Zhao Lucy has been admired for her cheerful personality and warm connection with fans. But during Guangxi's difficult moment, attention shifted away from entertainment. It shifted toward humanity. Reports showed that Xiao Lucy participated in distributing RDD tissue supplies for flood victims. At first glance, tissues may seem like a small contribution, but anyone familiar with disaster relief understands how critical hygiene products become after severe flooding. Temporary shelters often accommodate large numbers of displaced families. Basic sanitary supplies help reduce discomfort while supporting healthier living conditions during recovery. That is why many people praise this contribution, not because it was extravagant, but because it addressed a real and immediate need. Even more touching was the fact that the assistance spoke for itself. There were no emotional speeches, no carefully staged promotional videos. Simply practical help reaching people who truly needed it. Fans quickly began expressing admiration online. Many described Xiao Lucy's actions as thoughtful, sincere, and deeply meaningful. For countless supporters, this moment reminded them that genuine kindness doesn't always arrive with flashing cameras. Sometimes, it simply arrives when people need it most. Zhao Lucy was not the only familiar name connected with Guangxi's relief efforts. Singer and actor Liu Yuning was also reported to have made a donation supporting flood victims. Although details regarding the donation were not publicly highlighted, news of his participation spread among fans, generating widespread appreciation. Many supporters pointed out something important. Helping others is not a competition. It is not about comparing numbers. It is not about who receives more attention. Every sincere contribution becomes part of a much larger effort to help communities recover. That perspective resonated strongly with audiences. Liu Yuning has often earned admiration for his dedication to music and acting. Now, many fans felt they had another reason to respect him. His reported participation reflected empathy during a time when thousands of people were facing uncertainty. Rather than becoming the center of attention, the focus remained where it belonged, on the victims. And perhaps that made the gesture even more meaningful. Within hours, discussions spread across fan communities. Messages of appreciation appeared from supporters across different countries. Many fans shared the same feeling. True generosity does not always need an audience. Some commented that seeing celebrities help during difficult times inspired them to think about helping their own communities whenever disasters occur. Others praised both artists for allowing humanitarian efforts to remain the priority instead of personal recognition. In today's digital world, almost every action can instantly become content. Yet moments like this remind people that compassion still exists beyond headlines. That realization touched many hearts. Instead of focusing on glamour, fans found themselves talking about empathy. Instead of celebrating achievements on stage, they celebrated kindness off stage. Perhaps that is why this story resonated so deeply. Because behind every successful celebrity stands another human being capable of caring for strangers. And in difficult times, that humanity shines brighter than any spotlight. The road to recovery after flooding is never short. Communities need time, resources, patience, and continuous support. No single donation can solve every challenge, but every contribution helps lighten someone's burden. Whether through emergency supplies, financial assistance, volunteer work, or simply encouraging others to help, every action becomes part of rebuilding lives. For Zhao Lucy and Liu Yuning, this moment became less about celebrity status and more about shared responsibility. Their reported support reminded fans that influence can be used for something far greater than entertainment. It can encourage compassion. It can inspire generosity. It can remind millions of people that kindness still matters. Long after concerts end, long after television dramas finish airing, acts of humanity are often what people remember most. Perhaps that is the real legacy every public figure hopes to leave behind. Not just unforgettable performances, but unforgettable compassion. As Guangxi continues recovering from the devastating floods, stories like these remind us that even quiet acts of kindness can bring hope to people facing their darkest moments. Do you believe that celebrities who choose to help without seeking publicity create an even greater impact on society? And if you had the opportunity, how would you support communities affected by natural disasters?